Right now at 5, the growing concern of mold. 2 weeks after deadly flooding across the state, what you need to know to protect your home as more parishes are added to this growing list of federal disaster areas. And the fairgrounds are bustling with life as horses and fans get ready for the 103rd Louisiana Derby. We're live from Gentilly. Plus, a New Orleans tradition draws thousands to Mid-City, while the Crescent City Classic is much more than just a race. The News at 5 on this beautiful Saturday starts right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WDSU News at 5.
First here at 5, the metro area a little bit cloudy as many make their final preparations for Easter Sunday. Thankfully, though, there was no rain for this morning's Crescent City Classic, and I'm pretty sure I saw the sun today.
Yeah.
A lot.
You got some peaks of sunshine.
I did.
Adriana, across the area, but cloudy skies now for us. And as you mentioned, Crescent City Run was beautiful this morning. And the temperatures weren't too bad either. We're sitting pretty mild still right now, but the clouds have grown since that time this morning. We do have some offshore showers and storms, most of those working towards the northeast around the panhandle of Florida. A few strong storms just off Lower Plaquemines Parish. That expired at 4:45. Cloudy skies continue. There's the warm front. It'll continue to lift to the north. What does that mean for us? Increasing rain chances, more so overnight and into your Easter Sunday. It's 76 at the airport now. Winds are east-northeast at 14 miles per hour. Temperatures in the 70s. Double sevens for Bogalusa and Slidell. 73 for Homa. 73 for Belle Chase at New Orleans International. 76 degrees. For the next 12 hours, those rain chances going up. I think you'll be okay through this evening. You have evening plans. Get them going. Get everything finished by midnight tonight if you have some plans to head out. We'll see those rain chances going up to around 20% by that time frame, 60% by 3 o'clock, and by those sunrise services tomorrow, up to 80% with temperatures in the upper 60s. So here's the forecast model into midnight. You can see that rain pretty much over the metro area. More scattered at that time, but as we get towards 6 o'clock, yeah, there it is. That batch of moisture continues to pour in. We'll have details. Sunday, not a total washout, but you'll want the umbrellas for church services tomorrow. I have those details coming up in just a little bit. Adriana, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Quaylen. Well, there are now 30 parishes on the federal disaster list. That's nearly half of all the parishes in the state. It's an important first step to make way for federal dollars aimed at recovery. WDSU reporter Jennifer Crockett has a breakdown of the parishes added today and what affected homeowners are now being told to do.
Well, Adriana, just hours ago, President Obama agreed to expand the federal disaster declaration and the aid that goes with it to Jackson, Rapides, Red River, and Sabine parishes. Many parishes closer to home are already on that list. The governor says expanded resources will help thousands of additional flood survivors return to normal life. But FEMA warns homeowners not to wait for relief money to start those repairs. They want you to know you can still get assistance after repair work has started, so there is no need to wait. The State Department of Health and Hospitals is also weighing in, giving specific instructions on safe ways to clean up and remove mold, which now threatens the health of many residents in flooded homes. Now, we've got all of those tips and a complete list of the parishes declared disaster areas on our website right now. Also on WDSU.com, the latest dates, times, and locations of important FEMA briefings. They start next week and provide all the information you need to know to file for FEMA assistance. In the studio, Jennifer Crockett, WDSU News.
All right, thanks so much, Jennifer. On Thursday, Governor Edwards asked the White House to add 9 Louisiana parishes to that disaster area declaration, but they're not all approved just yet. 5 parishes listed on his most recent request, they're still pending federal action. And many Red Cross volunteers are spending this Easter weekend helping those devastated by this month's severe flooding. Since that flooding began more than 2 weeks ago, more than 184,000 meals and snacks have been served to flood victims. Volunteers have also handed out more than 46,000 cleaning kits, personal care kits, and supplies. And there are still almost 3,000 people staying overnight in 30 shelters across the state. In our area, there's one in Tangipahoa Parish. That's at the National Guard Armory in Independence. A local fraternity is spreading some cheer as well this Easter weekend. The men of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated spent this morning and afternoon handing out Easter baskets to kids in the hospital. Over 100 baskets were filled with candy, toys, basketballs, footballs, and other items, and given to kids who will be spending their Easter in a hospital bed. The Road 5 chapter has been doing this for more than 20 years, and they also spend time going to housing shelters on the east and west banks. Happening tomorrow, there are 3 Easter parades planned. The historic French Quarter Easter Parade kicks off in the morning at 10:30. That parade line will start at Antoine's Restaurant, then head to St. Louis Cathedral for 11 a.m. Mass. Then after Mass, people will head into Jackson Square to show off their Easter hats and suits, and the best of the best will be awarded in a ceremony afterward. And then after that, it's the 33rd annual Chris Owens French Quarter Easter Parade. That rolls at 1 o'clock, and the Grand Duchess is French Quarter singer Chris Owens herself. She'll lead her band of parade goers from Canal and Bourbon Street through the quarter. And this parade, you can expect to see vintage convertibles, brass bands, and plenty of Easter-themed throws. Also in the quarter, the LGBTQ community will have its gay Easter parade. The paraders ride horse-drawn carriages and floats, all while decked out in their Easter best. There will also be an Easter bunny contest at Good Friends Bar. The parade gets started at 4:30. The 103rd Annual Louisiana Derby is today, and the fairgrounds, of course, are full of people hoping for that big win at the races. Here's a live look now at the fairgrounds. One person hoping for a major win is Tom Benson. He has 2 horses racing today. Mo Tom will be in the 6th slot as an odds-on favorite to win, 5-2. Another Benson horse, Tom's Ready, will be lined up next to the favorite. Tom's Ready is 15-1 to win the Derby, a bit of a long shot. Sports anchor Sharif Ishak will have more on the outcome of that race coming up in sports. The Crescent City Classic is, of course, a New Orleans tradition, attracting thousands to New Orleans each and every year. It's where world-class competition meets amateur racing. As WDSU anchor Farrah explains, runners and walkers are adding a little fun when it comes to completing this 10K race.
While thousands of people flock to the Crescent City Classic, believe it or not, it's actually the attire that they are most focused on.
Whether it's a Viking, an Easter bunny, or ballerinas in tutu, many spend months searching, sketching, designing, and making their costumes for the event. And for most of them, it's a family tradition.
Every year is something new and interesting, and we make new costumes. Last year we were Peeps, and we're still picking out feathers from our car from last year.
And it's a good time for us to get together, and it's just really a 6-mile bar crawl, and who doesn't want to do that, right?
The Crescent City Classic is a fundraiser for nonprofit organizations throughout the area. In fact, last year, the organization donated over $500,000. In Mid-City, Farrah, WDSU News.
And the next big race in the All-State Sugar Bowl will be the Crescent Connection Bridge Run. That happens Saturday, June 4th. A Good Samaritan became the target of an armed robbery this morning on Magazine Street. Police say the 39-year-old victim stopped to offer help to some people who were stopped in a car near Magazine and Josephine Streets when the driver pulled out a gun. The man demanded the victim's wallet and cell phone, but when he saw there wasn't any money in the wallet, he gave it back, but he did steal the phone. The victim was not hurt. And in Gerttown, a man was injured in a shooting just before 1 o'clock this morning. That 29-year-old told police he was walking to meet his girlfriend when he heard several gunshots. Police say that man was shot in the leg and taken to the hospital. Right now, the NOPD is looking for a Mandeville woman who's missing. Haley Saltaformaggio was last seen Friday afternoon around 4 o'clock. Friends told police they saw her leaving the area around St. Peter and Bourbon Street. She was driving a silver Honda Accord. It has a Louisiana license plate with the number YLU541, and her friends say she responded to text messages about an hour later, but they've not heard from her since. The water in Donaldsonville is safe to drink once again. Earlier this week, town officials sent out a notice advising people not to drink the water. State health officials say tests confirmed all the water was safe. On Tuesday, an inspection of that water supply showed the possibility it contained chlorine dioxide levels 4 to 5 times the national guidelines. But again, the water is now safe to drink. 4 people are dead after a helicopter crash in southeast Alabama. Officials say the 3 crew members and a patient were coming from a wreck. The patient had a broken leg and was unconscious. That crash happened around 12:15 this morning in Goodman, Alabama. The helicopter was found just after 7 a.m. No word on what caused that crash, but officials say there was fog in the area at the time that helicopter went down. Crews have recovered a car that plunged off a bridge into the Ohio River near Cincinnati more than a week ago. Authorities say river conditions were finally good enough for divers to begin that search process. Crews say the dead driver was found in the vehicle, but they've not released that person's identity. The car was pushed off the bridge on Interstate 275 and into the river during a 12-car crash. A large crowd gathered in Minneapolis to demand charges against 2 police officers involved in a fatal shooting of a black man. Hundreds of protesters stood outside the Hennepin County Government Center today, chanting, holding signs, and writing messages on the stairs. 24-year-old Jamar Clark was shot and killed back in November during what authorities are calling a struggle. But witnesses say Clark was handcuffed and not in a struggle. The county prosecutor says he hopes to announce a decision on whether to file charges next week. State police in South Carolina are investigating an officer-involved shooting in Myrtle Beach. Police say they received a call around 3:30 this morning about a man acting strangely. And when officers arrived, they found a man with a gun in his hand, so they called in a police negotiator. They say the man then threatened the officers with that gun, and so they shot him. The 3 officers involved have now been placed on administrative duty. The road to the White House is getting shorter as we get closer to Election Day. See where voters are heading to the polls today and who they want to represent the Democratic Party. Plus, more arrests in the Brussels terror attack. Find out who are the first to be charged in those deadly attacks.